Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Chicago Bears. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport. Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first Wyoming quarterback to go in the first round, standing 6'5". It's Josh Allen.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
50, 56, check 56. Here we go. Watch safety green. Watch safety.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field, and when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down. Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. Now Allen. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So here are the Redskins now backed up a bit here to start their first drive. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed.
Let's go. Let's do this.
A huge play there for Washington. 54 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Back to throw. Blake, he'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
To throw again. Blake. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And while teams don't like to talk about it, they're pretty proud of their rankings. But this ranking is going to be put to the test today because they're going up against a top 5 passing offense in this one.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Blake. And James has it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 13-yard line. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Steps away to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Second and 2. Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. He's got White here. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though it's...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington.
Nice touchdown, baby.
From 17 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 21 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Delgado. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 50 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. This one into the hands of Burton. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And again, it's Allen. And his pass incomplete. Trying to get it to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield. And it's 3rd and short. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Allen again. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Throwing to start the drive. Blake got an open man. It's Harmon. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we get everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Off the play fake. Blake, he's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Allen off the play fake. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give the Redskins 13 there on a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that.
Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
From just shy of midfield, Allen throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Harmon, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Catch is made. It's Harmon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. James has got it, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking to throw. Blake.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. Here a throw taken in by Watkins. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
Oh, Cohen lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 2nd and 1. Looking for White on the deep ball. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. From the gun, it's Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Redskins now to take over. They've got the lead right now as they start this drive 1st and 10. Of course, remember they beat the Saints a week ago, so some good momentum rolling right now. On 1st down, it's Harmon. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 51 yards on the ground. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here you really like it.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
On 1st down, Blake. And he finds a man on a crossing route. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. To throw on 2nd down, Blake, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Again, it's Cohen. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They try again with Cohen. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
I call it no gain there on the first down play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Allen's throw is complete, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Steps away, and now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are. And now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. Here's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Nelson Aguilar. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A huge play there for Washington. 62 yards on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Flushed out right. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you've got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cohen. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Allen going to throw, and that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Throwing after the interception. Blake, that's complete to White. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin 1st down.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Rip left.
On 1st and 10, Blake. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Throwing on 1st down. Blake, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw again on 2nd down. Allen, he's got Burton here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Allen connecting with Burton here over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. Allen now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run on first down. Bishop. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Nelson Aguilar with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
The way with the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Redskins have the first down on a pickup of 18. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. They come up here on 1st and 10. There goes a deep ball. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Allen now looks to throw. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. Give him 3 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Allen to throw it. Over the middle, complete. That's Delgado. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Draw play, Cohen. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Allen trying to hurry everybody up to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Aguilar has it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Allen to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Fielded about a yard deep. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. So the Redskins down by 4, 40 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Back to throw. It's caught. This is White. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. And between the last 2 plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing now is Allen. This one into the hands of Burton. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair. Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot. So for the Redskins, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season, and they will head back home next week.